Rebound taken by Iguodala. Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Come here to cleanse your soul. Yeah, 4-4 and go. That other getting old. We got Sam Ryan time. This is a sports octagon. Sports for forever and beyond. Spend it with Sam Ryan time. From the puck to the glove to the pigskins high. Share all of your thoughts, just let it ride. Down the baseline in the bleachers, or you wanna get denied. Yeah, share all of your thoughts, just let it ride. 4-4 and go. Come here to cleanse your soul. Yeah, it's 4-4 and go. Come here to cleanse your soul.
For the Browns Super Bowl contenders.
Hey, listen, when we start talking about what wins Super Bowl, we talk Super Bowls, we talk about talent. The Browns, they have the talent. They have it.
Someone had their mic or speakers on just a little too loud. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
You're just yelling.
No, I heard some echo. Boys and girls, children of all ages, all friends, family, amigos, whatever you want to call it, from Ashtabula County, baby. Listen, I got a cup of coffee. We're rolling. I got my, 12th wind of the day, whatever you want to call it. It's been a long day. Started at 6 a.m. Now it's 8. But the fun is getting ready to begin. So we got Tom to my left, Sammy beneath us tonight. That's a little bit different for the rest of new viewers, not so different. Older viewers, though. We can do a quick swap. Boom. Boom. Never mind. We're going to put them back. How you boys doing tonight?
You know what? Tonight, doing pretty good. We had our Christmas early because the kids are taking off. They're gonna go see their mother. So they'll be gone for a couple weeks. So we do Christmas a little bit early. So I wasn't allowed to be my normal self and wait till December 23rd to buy gifts this year. But yeah, we did that tonight, and that was cool. If anybody's looking, I'm gonna start hooking because as they get older, they just get more and more expensive.
You know what? Hopefully,
I got $200 in a car, Sam. See you after the show.
Yeah, before you know it, you will be buying a car for one of them girls soon enough.
PT Cruiser.
PT Cruiser.
Right now.
What a come on. That's not a genuine thing.
Bad boys in on trade. I just took, and it was a luxury one, man. It had the faux wood panels on them. Oh, man.
Did they pay you to take
PT Cruiser, and we're going right to Walmart, and either Walmart, the real store, or we're going to Walmart online, and I'm going to get those fake spinners. We're going to let it ride, boys.
Hey,
yes.
Hey.
Are the girls watching tonight by chance, or they don't watch the show?
I have no idea.
Just, if they are, get a little dab in for the girls. You know what I'm saying? They genuinely love it when we do that at St. John around all the other boys. It's very exciting. Total parent movement or moment there, and it's a lot of fun to drive those girls nuts. But
it's my job.
You know what? Speaking of some Ashtabula County stuff that I have to go see, Tom has to see, Sammy went and seen. Usually we wouldn't we're talking about Christmas lights, and to be honest with you, I don't really like them. But after, I don't. I did that in my front yard. I got a 12-foot Santa Claus because my wife wanted it, and I did. Okay. I'm going out on a limb here. I thought it was kind of cool and obnoxious. Only reasons why I got the 12-foot Santa Claus. I would have been totally happy with just the Santa Claus, but that's not okay with my wife. So, hence all the other crap in my front yard. But Sammy last night went somewhere. I'm going to let him explain where it's at because I know he said like 193, but other than that, I don't recall.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally what it's called. It's called Lights on 193. And prior to going there, the best light show that I had seen for free, at least, is out in a place called Canfield. which is a solid 45 minute to hour drive down Route 11. Which, it's cool. It's definitely got its own thing going on down there. The whole neighborhood gets involved, and they kind of have you tune the radio station in, and it's like a show and everything. And it's cool, but we drove down just right down the street on 193, and they have a full-fledged LED complete green screen show with Santa Claus and Michael Jackson and I mean everything was amazing. It was great. SpongeBob made an appearance, and it was cool. It was cool, but it was super long, which I was super surprised about because it's just this little turnaround, but they just do an absolutely phenomenal job out there. And for all the Edgewood people watching here, they have a little homage to Edgewood too. I thought for sure John Butchko must have hacked into the system, but I think they might have actually done it themselves. I was waiting any minute for him to pop up from behind one of those gingerbread men. No, it was really cool. They have an Ohio State tribute on there as well. Cool. So the whole car was singing "Hang On, Sloopy." So if you've got a minute or you just kind of want to drive around, fortunately, but unfortunately, we ended up checking that out because Lights on the Lake only runs Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And like I just said, because I'm so great at planning, we missed it this year. Oh, no. So we were driving around, picked on 193, and it was a pleasant surprise.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I do. I mean, so the time is coming, folks. We don't have much more time. The time is almost up. I mean, honestly, we're 7 days away from D-Day. Let's just be realistic.
Yeah.
And that's, about 8 days away from me from tearing all that crap down. So,
so I've actually been, Ryan, I was kind of in the same boat as you. Megan really wanted, she wanted Christmas lights. She wanted all that this year. And I wanted to put a spin on it. Because you guys know me, I'm a little out there.
Just a touch.
Putting it lightly. Yeah. So I started designing for next year. And I may or may not have a Velociraptor from Jurassic Park coming that I'm going to dress as Jesus. So for a Velociraptor Jesus, and have him as the centerpiece of my Christmas display next year.
What is Velociraptor Is that a thing?
It's a thing. Look him up.
Good.
He's going to be at our house next year, and it was just crazy. So I spent a little too much money on Amazon this past week. Megan doesn't know about that. She's sleeping right now. So
I mean, when she wakes you up by beating you with your Yeezys, I cannot wait.
Oh man! Listen, she better lose. She better use my Oreo ones, because if she uses the all white ones, we got a divorce before September 4th.
Golly.
I'll tell you, hey, it's been a good week. This week was eventful. It was a really good week. But like you said, Ryan, we're getting to D-Day, we're getting to crunch time, and the coolest thing, man, and you guys all have kids. I have a son, and just I think the coolest thing about this time of year is just their excitement for everything that's going on. I mean, this year's just been crazy, and just any little thing, the smallest things, these kids love. And man, I wish I could love something as much as my little guy loves Christmas stuff. You know what I mean? Just seeing Santa Claus on TV, it just lights him up. So I think that I think right now it's just a great time to just kind of sit back and relax and think about all the things that you really have to be thankful for and appreciate this year, because we're getting to D-Day, man, and I can't wait until Wyatt and Megan open up their Christmas presents. Santa might visit your guys' house this year too. I haven't decided yet. But
if you show up in a Velociraptor Jesus outfit, I'm throwing snowballs from my porch at you.
I got
Velociraptor Jesus always forgives, though.
I got to send a quick shout out tonight. Getting ready for Christmas for me and the girls. It's also a special day. My nephew Adonis, my boy, the king of Columbus. Today is his birthday. He is 6. Unfortunately, we couldn't get down there yet, and I'm buying him as many Nerf guns and as many Nerf darts as I possibly can because my sister and my brother-in-law Chris thought it was awesome to buy my kid noisy stuff. So guess what? You guys get to pick up Nerf weapons all the time, baby. The war is on. So I want everybody, if you can, if you see him, or if you know Lisa, send Adonis a big happy birthday. And Adonis, Tio loves you. Happy birthday, my boy.
Yep. Happy birthday, Adonis. But I got to give a suggestion to Sammy. Nerf guns are great. But I would highly, highly recommend for a kid his age, I think it would work out really well. Functionality, skill-wise, a drum set. I think a drum set would be perfect for him. Hand-eye coordination. I mean, there's a multitude of things that can happen with a drum set to better a young man at the age of 6. Just putting that out there.
This is vintage Ryan Cole. This was Ryan Cole convincing someone that they needed the telematics at Verizon. This is Ryan Cole I loved.
I may or may not have bought my niece when she was about that age a guitar with all kinds of love. There was a lot of love behind that guitar, as much noise as possible. It's probably got burnt, fires, that kind of stuff may have destroyed it. But nonetheless.
We bought me a guitar for Christmas this year so she can go up there and be Taylor Swift.
Yes.
So, that may or may not have been a good idea. I don't know. But she liked it at the time.
That's awesome.
If it becomes a wall piece, it didn't work out well.
Yeah, if I go live, if I show her how they did it back in the day when they ended rock shows, what.
Yes. And actually, John, you bring that Nerf gun up. That was Tom who bought a 100-round automatic Nerf gun of sorts. And my son lit John McCoy up on Wednesday night. Let him have it as he walked in the door. So that was pretty good.
Every time Uncle John comes around, you need to tell your dad to give you a day's advance, because you take those Nerf darts, you throw them in the freezer, bud. It gets real good.
Didn't think about that. Oh, and also I have to. John is turning into a ritual that he's bringing Owen yearly. Is cologne. I have to let everyone know that my son at night puts cologne on, does his hair as if he's getting ready to go out with his pajamas, and then goes to bed. Also in the morning, will not leave the house without cologne on. So
his grip is too hard right now.
I'm trying to figure out what the teachers think, because obviously you can't have that conversation one-on-one right now of my son smelling of whatever the smell is. I don't know what. I think it was bod.
Listen, Owen, don't you let your dad talk junk on that, because he used to get mad at me because I would take my dad's Aramis cologne. That's right, baby, Aramis. And I would put so much of that on there, you could smell me coming from around the block. But you know what? The chickens liked it, and that's all I cared about. I don't care that I smelled like green peppers and musk.
Hold on. I have to tell the audience something about Sammy and his cologne preferences way back when. Most were the knockoffs from the dollar store. That was
smell alike.
Yeah. Most were. They came in very nice wrapping, like most cologne does. But I don't know what any of it's. Polo was like Folo by Charles Loren or something. I don't know. But he showed up with that and rocked it like nobody's business. I have to put that out there. It was no big deal. And you could smell him. He's not kidding. Maybe not a block away, but you knew when you were in a room with Sammy, because he made everything smell like him. Like, you could eat a cookie that tasted like Sammy at that point.
If there was a little sticker on there that said, "If you love the smell of," I was in.
Yes. I watched MTV last night, and that commercial was on. Buying it. Oh, man.
Dracar Noir. Give me some night sweat, baby.
But on a brighter note, I've been wanting to say this for like the last 5 minutes. We do have head coach of the girls Conneaut basketball team coming on here in a couple minutes. Tony Pasanen. He's actually supposed to be on right now, but of course it's 8:45. We got a couple ads to run through, all that fun stuff. So let's not keep him waiting. Let's get these ads rolling, boys, and then let's bring on the coach, the man of the half an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how it all goes. So we'll see what happens. So pop up a couple ads. We'll see you all here in about 2 to 3, maybe 4 or 5 minutes, whatever it is. Okay.
Tri-Fin Charters, Northeast Ohio's premier multi-species guide service. Captain Mark Diedrich is here to set up your trip of a lifetime. Catfish, walleye, steelhead, crappie, perch, and more. Mosquito Lake, Lake Erie, Ohio River, or even Pymatuning Reservoir. Tri-Fin Charters, where dreams become reality. 440-228-5744.
440 and Gold proudly welcomes Play All Awards and Engraving. Awards, they do them all at Play All, from trophies to plaques to all other things celebration. Play All has 2 on-site laser computerized engraving machines as well as thermal imaging equipment. Play All has been locally owned and operated since 1993. Check them out at playallamerica.com or check out their Facebook page at Play All Awards and Engraving. Visit Play All at 4542 Main Avenue in beautiful downtown Ashtabula, Ohio. 440 and Gold proudly presents Trilogy Cabinets and Design. Planning a small remodel or building your dream home? From a single display case to cabinetry throughout the entire home, Trilogy Cabinets and Design can help make your vision a reality. Their quality and designs are second to none and are often more affordable than other custom options. If you can dream it, Trilogy Cabinets and Design can build it. Contact Trilogy Cabinet and Designs at 814-683-4511. 440 and Gold presents Made in Ohio. Made in Ohio makes custom t-shirts, hoodies, banners, jerseys, and more. With the fastest turnaround time in Ashtabula, 440 and Gold is proud to have Made in Ohio as its official Player of the Week sponsor. Contact Made in Ohio at 440-964-9057 or visit Made in Ohio at 1028 Bridge Street in beautiful, historic Ashtabula Harbor. Also, check Made in Ohio out on Facebook for upcoming Black Friday sales for the holiday season. All right, everybody, welcome back. We got a hot show coming up here in a moment. We're going to have head coach Tony Pasanen of the girls varsity basketball team out in Conneaut come on. But don't forget, one, if you're over on Facebook, go ahead and share this stream. Let everyone know that you're watching us. That would be nice. And also hit the follow button. If you're over on YouTube, if you could hit the notification bell and subscribe, help us out in that way. Made in Ohio down there on Bridge Street. You can get your 440 and Gold gear hot off the press just about immediately. Walk across the street, get you a little cup of coffee, come on back, and then you'll have some new fresh gear to wear and show off to all your friends.
Listen, are you looking for a last-minute gift that somebody's actually going to want? Put that fruitcake back and get yourself a 440 and Gold t-shirt.
Yep. Do the right thing. We all know what the right
fruit roll now, Sam.
Regardless of what it is. But yeah, let's do it. Let's man the myth, the legend here. Been doing it for a little while. Let's bring him on. Head coach of the girls varsity basketball team out in Conneaut, Ohio, Tony Pasanen. Hey, welcome in. Very happy to have you join us tonight, sir.
Thanks for having me.
How's it going, Coach? How are you tonight?
Good. How you guys doing?
You know what? I'm excited. It's probably got something to do with the cup of coffee I've been drinking. But I am excited. I'm pumped. We're getting closer. That time is coming. It's December 18th. I know around the 11th of January, I think it is when things actually kind of get a little bit more official around Ashtabula County. Let's see here. So
yeah,
I was so hoping Sammy was going to take something. Tom was going to go there, but
I'm waiting on you to go. Anyway, so we're getting ready to get the season together. Coach, you guys are not immune to all the problems with COVID this year either. With the practicing, and you guys were on a bit of a hiatus as well, just like many schools in the county. So, I'm sure you were pretty excited to, get back going as soon as you can and really start getting basketball going back again at Conneaut.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a weird, weird start of the year, and the girls have been outstanding, and our coaches and and everybody else. But yeah, everybody's chomping at the bit to play an actual game.
Yeah, and you know what, Coach, before we get into the girls and the schedule this year, one of the things we like to start off for is for anybody who's coming on the show. Some of these people are getting their first look at you, Coach, and Conneaut girls basketball. So maybe if you could give us a little bit of history of yourself, talk about where you've been and what brought you to where you are.
Well, I'm not quite as old as Coach Tallbacka, but I've been doing it a long time.
Firing the bus up real early tonight, boy. Sorry, I have to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, this is my 20th year in Conneaut. When I first got hired, I was right out of college, and I was hired to be Coach Kent Houston's JV boys coach, and I was JV boys for 2 years, and then I went over to the girls side, and I was a JV girls coach for 2 years, and then this is now my 16th year as the head coach.
Wow. So, Coach, I mean, the thing is you've been coaching about 16 years. You've had some members of your staff. They've come, they've gone. But how about you set it off for us real quick and let us know who your current staff is right now? Who can we look for to be roaming the sidelines with you this year?
Well, starting off JV, I mean, you guys all know who he is. That's Coach Rocco Dobrin. So he's our JV girls coach, and we have 2 volunteers, younger coaches. The first one is Coach Hodges. He also is a football assistant, helps with the baseball program, and he's volunteering this year. And then we have a girl who graduated 3 or 4 years ago. I can't even remember. Tatum Sanford. She's in college actually to become a teacher and a coach. So she's, right now working, going to school, and volunteering to help out to learn. And, it's great to have her. And then our junior high, we have two outstanding coaches. Jim Kennedy, who's, been coaching a long time in different things. Actually, my first year as head coach, he was varsity assistant for me, and but he's a principal at the middle school, so I give him credit for doing it because it's he has a lot of other things on his plate. And then Pete Alessi, this will be his second year, does a fantastic job with the girls. So I'm very fortunate to have outstanding help around me.
Absolutely,
that's awesome.
Yeah, the help around you is the support is what's going to keep the house from hitting the ground anyway. But one of the things you talked about is going all the way down to the junior high level, and that's really where your building blocks for high school are coming. But even before then, one of the things a lot of people try and spend some time on is at that fourth and fifth grade level, and even sometimes younger, trying to get that love for basketball going, or even if it's not the love, at least getting some of the the understanding of the game.
Right.
So what kind of involvement do you have with that, if you have any?
I definitely play a role with the City Rec program, and actually this year I just joined the City Rec board to also help out with other sports. But we've done things. Me and Coach Tallback have partnered to do things. Actually, for years, because in Ohio our rules for off season are a little strict. So once they're in 7th grade, I can't coach more than 2 at a time as a team, and in the off season. Well, but up to 6th grade, I could coach as many as I wanted. So I was coaching, travel teams in the spring with 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. And we would go to these tournaments, and we're playing loaded AAU teams, and here we just have Conneaut girls, and so we were getting killed, but they were playing together, and it was a lot of fun, especially now. My oldest is a senior. These girls, we've been together since they were in 3rd grade. Going to tournaments, and also parents helping out along the way has been a huge help.
Yeah, I wanted to ask. So it's been a pretty big thing amongst ladies basketball, and that's bringing in kind of some of the youth that kind of just recently graduated. How did you guys kind of levitate that way? How did how'd that even come about? Did you say her name was Tatum Sanford? Am I saying that right?
Yep.
Right. How did that come about at that aspect?
I don't know. I think it's great personally.
Right.
I mean, especially with girls and different issues that they may have, away from basketball, having a female influence around. So, Tatum's kind of like how I was. My dad coached me growing up. I know her dad coached her, and she really wanted to get in the education field. So I was, lucky to have her. But even a couple of years ago, we had a former player, Kayla Brennan, was helping us, and so it's been really nice, and I would love to see more, want to get involved and start coaching.
Yeah, it is always fun to see that. But I think because that would be so Conneaut now, Edgewood, and is that the
St. John?
Two? St. John, yeah, they all have some youth that recently graduated have come back to help out with the program. That's awesome. I always love hearing about the youth around here coming to help out, make an area better. So thanks for elaborating on that. But so let's go into some players. Obviously it's exciting, but who do you got returning this year? You know what I mean? Like you got senior heavy, sophomore heavy. Who's coming back to help you out this year? Who's
Did he freeze?
not?
He's back. He's back. You can't keep Ryan Cole.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Yeah, we're pretty senior heavy. We've got 7 seniors, and a few of them are going to be in their familiar roles, but a few of them are going to be asked to do a lot more than they've done in the past. I'll start off with the first senior is Jaden Drew. Jaden is just a phenomenal all-around athlete. I mean, she is fast. She can jump out of the gym. Definitely probably our best defensive player in terms of being able to do so many different things. Now we're going to ask her, obviously to do a lot of scoring for us, but her strength is going to be attacking the basket in transition. And the nice thing about her is, even though she's a guard, there's times where we're going to look to post her up because she's just that athletic. And if we get a mismatch, she can take advantage of that. The next senior who we expect to carry a huge load for scoring wise is Izzy Danforth. Izzy is probably the biggest basketball junkie we have. I mean, she's constantly, down at Township playing. Very good outside shooter. Also, can handle the ball and attack the basket. So she's somebody that is going to be hard to take away because she's not one dimensional. So we're expecting, a lot of scoring from her. And then we've got, Catherine Ray is she's our point guard, but very strong at attacking the basket, decision making. She's kind of the coach on the floor for us. So, me and her work hand in hand, and she really understands what we're trying to do and what I want. So, those three. Then, we've got the thing about our team this year, and we were just talking. We've got 10 to 12 girls that really, could be playing, depending on who's playing well, who's sick, who's injured, what's going on. My oldest daughter, Allie, very good outside shooter. That's, so we're expecting her to be able to give us some scoring. Amanda Loomis is another one that can score outside. And then we have Sarah Schmayman, who is more of a true post. So she can give us scoring in there. And then Carissa Shellhammer. Carissa's kind of a combo. She'll play guard for us a little bit. Also can play inside, so valuable because we can use her in different ways. Then we get to our juniors. We have Abby Falcone, who's a guard, fast, athletic. So, we're expecting her to develop. Michaela Goodwill is a post player. Could be getting some minutes in there. And then we get to our sophomores. I'm really excited about our sophomores. Cora Zalai is, this girl, the thing about our sophomores, they're very competitive. Cora is a very good outside shooter. It's just adjusting to the varsity speed, how fast they can adjust. my younger daughter, Lainey Pasanen, very strong, very aggressive. I mean, her strength is more, attacking the basket. Caitlin Bean, she's somebody who can, I really think can turn into an outstanding post player, especially by the time she's, junior, senior. So we have options. It's just going to be a matter of, who's healthy, who's playing well. So
yeah,
it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. So what
sure.
it seems like you guys have going out there pretty well established is something that I think a lot of teams, a lot of schools, a lot of coaches are really fighting to get. And that's kind of a culture for girls basketball. Because if you can get the girls playing, in that 3rd, 4th grade level, that's fantastic. But if you can get some girls to commit by the time they're 6th, 7th graders, by the time you get them in high school, you have underclassmen like you just described who are, maybe just need to adjust to the speed, but the skills are there, the competition is there, and maybe most important, knowledge of the game already there.
Yeah, we're having I can't hear you, Coach. I don't know. You're not muted, but you were lagging.
Yeah. A little bit.
Hold on one second. Coach, I'm going to ask you to refresh. I'm going to boot you and come back in, see if that helps us out. Hopefully you can hear me.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to boot him real quick.
He'll come back.
So a little bit of technical trouble.
Listen,
we had it with Hallback and two. Maybe it's a Conneaut thing. Who knows?
Yeah. No. Listen, one of the things we've talked about with girls coaches in general, and not just girls sports, but boys. The boys basketball too. It's really about getting those kids in the gym young, getting those kids to play some AAU ball, and even if you go out in an AAU tournament and you get your teeth kicked in. Yeah, that competition is there. You're learning, it's there. And what happens is it starts to show at a high school level.
And the one thing, Sam, too, that I've been so impressed with and I think is so cool in this area, when you think about like high school basketball programs across the country, generally your most versatile player is like your star player. In Ashtabula County, it seems that all these players are super versatile from guys and female basketball. And I think it really speaks to the coaches and how willing these coaches are to play to every strength that the kid has, not just make them one-dimensional.
All right, let's
Coach, you're back. Hi. Can you hear us okay? Maybe.
He's little movement.
It is tricky.
A little bit.
Can't hear you, Coach. I don't know if you are.
It's connection issue for sure.
Yeah.
He may.
Yep, I got you.
Yeah, that's real delayed.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a minute.
Yeah, let's see if you.
Live TV, folks. This is what we have.
Man.
Coach, he's out again. All right. So, yeah, we'll wait for him to come back in. He's definitely having a little bit of technical difficulties.
Yeah, and such is life, man. Speaking offhand, so I watched a sort of video podcast like we had here with there he is.
Let's bring him back on. He went to the cell phone.
There he is. He's good.
Yeah, we could tell. Can you hear us, Coach?
As long as he can hear us, we'll be all right. I can hear him. Really. Oh yeah, I heard him. Oh,
yeah, I heard him.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's called
Grab Your Popcorn, and it's with Matthew Hatchett, Jefferson area Falcon graduate, and T.O. And they have guys on there doing the same kind of thing we're doing, and you would be surprised, these $1 million athletes, the exact same thing that we're dealing with.
Yeah. Let's see.
I mean, it's even prevalent on ESPN.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you see it all the time. Like Nate Burleson always seems to have a horrible.
Can you hear us, Coach?
Yeah, I got you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Clear as a bell, too.
Back, baby, back. Yeah, it's funny. Tallbacker was on the computer, had to bounce off. Now Coach Pasanen was on the computer, had to bounce off.
Well, and here's the thing. I was making fun of him, so that's karma.
That's all right. Hey, if this is the worst thing that happens tonight, we're doing good. We're doing great. So,
but so one of the things I was talking about before we had some connection issues there is, you talk about that sophomore class, they're uber competitive. You've got a lot of underclassmen you can name off. You're talking about your primary involvement at the rec level, which is AAU, youth level. So you're seeing kind of the benefits of that. And I would say, I think personally that with girls basketball, that's even more important because, boys basketball with girls basketball, sometimes the basketball players tend to fall off as age goes on, whereas boys not so much. Boys who love basketball that young continue with it. With girls, sometimes you have to keep their interest a little bit, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing that's kind of changed over time is that I've noticed is you got to do different things. You got to try to make it more fun. We try to do a lot of team building things, and really even starting at the younger grades. We've taken the Cavs games. We do get-togethers with the middle school. So we've tried to do multiple things to kind of build that family culture.
Yeah. Right. Now, you talk about the Cavs games and stuff like that and leadership like that. So, one of the things Ryan was kind of going at with Tatum and the youth, Tatum, I would call a youthful coach because you know what I mean. And she's a female presence in there. And that's important. Are there other things that, kind of, because you got a chance to coach the boys and the girls. And I would assume I haven't coached girls at a high school level yet, but I assume it's night and day. But what are some of the things that kind of are a little bit different from going one to the other?
The thing about girls is it's like they're too literal. I mean, they whatever you tell them, they're going to do. And there's for the most part, they don't watch enough or play enough outside of the organized aspect, so that they're extremely coachable, but sometimes too coachable. So, when things happen, they don't adjust well because they're just, this is what coach said to do, so we're going to do that. For me, that's by far the biggest difference is the fact that they're too coachable at times.
Is there any lady Spartans that are watching? Your coach doesn't want you to do everything right at that moment. Like, do something wrong. That would be maybe not wrong. I'm saying this wrong, but I get where he's coming from. I know exactly what you're saying.
One of the things I've been asking, the girls coaches here is two of the things that girls deal with that I've seen is aggression. And one of the other things is just, like you were talking about that decision making. So you kind of already hit that. But do you find that getting girls to be aggressive is a little bit tougher? Because I know with the way society looks at girls, if you're aggressive,
She's right. No, she's right, and you're right. It is, from aggression standpoint, we've got a few who are just very aggressive, but yeah, the other ones, I mean, and it really starts with confidence is what we've noticed. Getting them to get out of their comfort zone and to, be more aggressive. But by far, yeah, I mean, aggression is usually one of the biggest problems we face, trying to break that habit to get them more aggressive.
Yeah. And, so you talked a little bit about the strengths and not strengths and weaknesses per se, but really the strengths of some of your players and where they're going to shine. And that kind of brings us to the next question of what kind of offense do you guys look out there? You don't have to show us your card set, but what is it something that, changes? Is it dynamic depending on who's on the court, or do you kind of have a base system that you work off of?
Yeah, I mean, our base is pretty much a motion style offense, and we try to teach different concepts. And then, but we can go 5-man motion, with empty post,
or we go four-man motion with a post in there. So, we'll mix it up, as far as that goes. And a lot of it really depends on who we have in the game, who we're going against, strengths and weaknesses. Scouting report plays a big factor in that, and just who has the hot hand on, on any given night. So we do have options. And so far, I really like how we're looking with both of them. It's just going to depend on, who's in the game for us and who we're playing.
I say, do you guys consider yourself more of a like a spot up jump shot team, a 3-point team in the paint, getting rebounds, putting it back up? What would you consider yourself?
I'm still a little bit more old school. I used to run a lot of 3-guard, 2-post. I like physical game, inside. We just don't have the players to fit that style, right now. So it changes. I think we're a decent balance. We have some girls who can shoot outside. But I also want to see us working the ball inside and being aggressive that way, being balanced.
Nice.
When you're running a motion offense, one of the biggest things with the motion offense is being in shape. So there's always one coach when it's time to run that whether it's girls or boys, the eyes roll out of their head because they know it's going to be a tough day. So who owns that role?
Well, I'm sure they're going to answer real quick here. You're going to have some comments coming in. I'm definitely the disciplinarian. Rocco. Everybody thinks Rocco, being a football coach, would be the tough guy. He's a big softy.
I would have guessed if I had to put money on anything, it would have been Rocco. But then again, coaching boys versus girls, that may be the difference. I don't know. You know what I mean? But so you're out there. Are you doing, what kind of drills do you guys usually do? I keep hearing this 7-1. Is that a thing still?
That started from when I was in high school, when I played at Harbor. Tallback, I used to make us run those all the time, and Coach Kraft. So it just carried over. I've been doing it ever since. But really, we don't like to just run to run. Obviously, if they're, for us, it's more for punishment purposes. It's always either attitude or effort. Is the time we're going to make them run. Mm-hmm. If they're missing shots or doing, that's part of the game, and that goes back to the confidence thing we talk about. But if they're being lazy or they're giving attitude, then that's when they're going to get on the line and run. But really, we try to do most of our conditioning as part of drills. And I was listening to Coach Venzel last week. He said the same thing. It just, then they don't realize it. They're having fun and they're getting in shape at the same time.
Right. So
now,
go ahead, Tom.
Sorry, Ryan. So now are you guys practicing in your gym now?
Yeah, we're
okay.
We're allowed to practice. We just can't play.
You're in there. So my question is you guys were obviously doing remote sessions there for a little bit, keeping them going remote, getting the girls going without being in the gym. So my thing is Coach Tallbeck had talked about Google Classroom. Coach Rock over there at St. John was talking about some things that he was doing to keep his girls engaged during that time. And I think this is during COVID when everything hit, it forced coaches to kind of innovate a little bit more, think outside the box to keep their players engaged. How were you keeping your girls engaged during remote sessions?
I started Google Classroom, so we were doing that. But also, we would have Google Meets. Especially when we had to quarantine for 2 weeks after we got started. We did like a game night, trivia night. Just different things. You got to be creative. I've heard every coach that's been on here say that. It's the truth. In a way, it's good. It's good for people who have been doing it a long time like us to have to learn different ways. Whether coaching or in the classroom. I've learned a lot of new things over the last 6-7 months.
So you can teach an old dog new tricks. So that's you can do that then. Wow, that's cool.
Can you hear me,
Coach?
Yeah, we hear you, Coach.
Coach, you have the unique privilege, or some people would call it, a curse to coach your daughters. What are some of the cool things, and what are some of the tough things? Like, is it tough to sit at a table and eat dinner after you've just had to roaster during practice?
You'd have to talk to them. I'm sure they can. But well, here's the thing, and part of the reason why I wanted to get into coaching was my dad coaching me growing up. But he was never, he was always harder on me in many respects. And like I said, I'm definitely a little bit more old school. I've never wanted them, even though because I wanted to coach, but I never wanted them to be punished because I'm their father, and I'm the coach. So I probably go overboard. I mean, being harder on them. And so sometimes that's where it's, the assistant coaches can play a little bit of a buffer, because, the way I've always told them, though, from the time they were young is, look, you guys have to be, if you want to be on the court, you got to be, it can't be close to somebody else. You've got to be better than that person, because, I want to deal with it. I mean, so I'm definitely harder on them for sure.
So and this is maybe more of a, I won't call it a personal question, but I coach like my son's baseball team and basketball team and, do the football thing. I'll be genuine with you. When my son was in T-ball, I benched him for a game. It wasn't the whole game, but he got on my nerves, and I said, "Enough's enough of this crap." How do you know, you're a parent and a coach at the same time? Whether you're off the field, on the field, on the court, off the court. How do you know when, just let it go? You've been doing it for 16 years, coaching for a long time. Is there a switch that flips? Like, all right, I just got to take a step back from this.
At times, I mean,
yeah.
I can tell if I've been a little too hard, on them. But that's what I give especially my oldest, who's a senior now. She's not the, physically, the strongest, but she's extremely mentally strong. So she's, she handles it the right way. She understands. But but it's like that with all the girls, though, because all these girls are like my daughter. So, there'll be times where at night, where, man, I was a little too hard on so-and-so or all of them or whatever. So it's constantly, in the back of your mind. That's one thing that I'm always, thinking of and analyzing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I say, it popped in my head. And I just, there's times I'm just like, yeah, take a step back, Ryan. It is what it is. They're going to dig in dirt whether you want them to or not.
That's true.
So go ahead, Sammy. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just, so we talked about the offense and the motion. There's two parts to basketball. So there's one part that's really important. A lot of people say it wins championships, and that's defense. So what's kind of the defensive mentality with the Lady Spartans? Are you guys spending a lot of time pressing? Do you guys spend a lot of time in man-to-man? Or are you letting the other team meet you at half court where you're going to dominate them there?
Yeah, well, one of our strengths is not speed. So we're definitely more of a half-court team, but we like to run multiple different things. Zone and man. There'll be a combination of both, half-court trap. So that is is what we're going to do. We're going to be more of a half-court defensive team, but we're going to mix it up constantly and not give you the same looks, consecutive times down the court.
Nice. So I'm going to be totally honest with you. I think 2 of the 3 schools we've had on here have circled Conneaut as their game of the year. And when I say circle, I mean, you can get the bingo dauber out, you can get a highlighter, you can get a Sharpie, whatever you want to call it. They have, I don't know what it is about Conneaut, but you guys kind of have the bullseye on your back. But if you were to put a bullseye on someone's back, who are you putting it on? The game this year, you're gonna double circle.
Oh, definitely, Coach Venzel. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I kind of had that feeling that one was coming. Yeah.
And Irochi's a close second, but that's only because we're family.
Yeah, that Edgewood Conneaut rivalry seems to be something that's just kind of natural. Even with Conneaut playing a primarily a Pennsylvania schedule, Conneaut and Edgewood, that rivalry just kind of remains. But, talking about the Pennsylvania schedule, what are some of the differences on the girls' side when you guys are going over there? Because one of the things Coach Tallbacker talked about was that, with Pennsylvania, everybody just plays it's different. One school can play 5 different teams. I don't know what's going on over there.
Well, that's the weird part about it, is the fact that, we're not in the same conference for every sport. So, even boys and girls basketball, we play certain teams and they play certain teams. So it's not the same for every sport, which to me is the weird part about it.
Have you guys developed any sort of rivalries with those teams over there? I know it kind of changes year by year because of, numbers and wins and losses and stuff like that. But is there any teams over on the Pennsylvania side that you're like, man, I can't wait to just beat their face in?
Northwestern is probably, because it's so close. I mean, really, for us. So Northwestern has turned into, a bit of a rivalry. And it's been good, good crowds for those games. So I would say that would be the biggest one. But, then the thing is, you got to beat the other ones. And Girard and Fairview are so good all the time. Mercier's Prep. So I would definitely say Northwestern would be our rival in terms of PA schools.
So what playing that many PA schools, what do you see different between Ohio and Pennsylvania schools, if anything? Maybe there's nothing.
Ryan.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was just curious.
Man.
What's the biggest difference between playing an Ohio school versus playing a PA school?
Yeah, there's a few things. The problem. Well, I don't know if it's a problem for us is the fact that the off-season rules are so different. When it comes to basketball. So we're only allowed to coach our girls for 10 days from June 1st to July 31st as a team, 10 days, where they're allowed to do as often as they want the moment the season ends. So the biggest thing I've noticed is fundamentally. I mean, they're better than us fundamentally because they're able to work with them so much. And then I don't know if it's just the way games are officiated, but it's definitely a more physical style basketball in Pennsylvania.
Interesting.
Listen, that brings up another great question. With this year, with no crowds in the stands, there's nobody to hide certain words that might get thrown out there after a call.
No muffling.
Are you worried about getting one of these, or are you worried about anybody on your staff catching a couple of those?
No, I mean, not really. I mean, that's honestly, I've definitely mellowed out, the longer I've been doing this, mainly because my dad would be yelling at me when I was getting too rambunctious, yelling at refs. So he has, I'm going to charge my phone here. So he's kind of helped curb that behavior. So I don't anticipate any problems, as far as that goes. That's one thing you've learned. The harder you are on them, the less likely you are to get calls anyway. So we've got bigger problems I got to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, being coaching for 16 years at the varsity level, I'm sure you've made good relationships. Or, I mean, probably bad ones too with some. let's be frank here. But you know what kind of game it's going to be when you show up. That would be my opinion, but. Sorry, I had to chime in just to touch on that.
No, it's true. And the bottom line is they're trying their best. They're hurting for referees. All over. So, if anybody's interested, they could definitely use the help. But it's just like anything. Whether it's coaching, you need younger blood, and it's been the same. You don't see too many new refs. It's still the same guys that've been doing it. Who are older when I started 20 years ago. So
yeah,
they need to get the young blood out there.
Yeah, I still want to see someone chuck a chair across the floor. I want to be there live for it. Gosh, do I. But sorry, Tom, go ahead.
So, Coach, you talked about young blood, talked about how you've been doing this a little bit. You kind of calmed down a little bit. So that brings kind of a segue into a question that I ask every coach here. I mean, you've been coaching a while now, girls basketball. So what has stayed the same in coaching or the style of girls basketball, anything since you started? And what's like been one of the biggest changes that you've noticed over the course of your coaching career in terms of anything?
I think when it comes in, and people say, kids have changed. I don't think kids have changed. I think in many respects, parents have changed. The way we parent has changed, and I'm both. I'm a coach and a parent.
Sure.
So I think, I think kids are still the same. They want to be coached. They want to be pushed. But I think what's really changed in terms of style is, and Coach Tallbeck alluded to this, is, the 3-point line has become such a huge part of the game. Mm-hmm. And, for us, our philosophy is simple. We want layups or 3-pointers. The mid-range game is kind of, a dying, lost art now at this point.
Yeah, I mean, just genuinely, if you think of, how far is a 3-pointer? Isn't it like a 30-foot shot? I don't know, something like that, right?
I don't even know.
But I mean, 2 points for 28 feet, or 3 points for an extra two steps back. That's just what it comes down to. So,
we talked a little bit about the referees and how you kind of have to be quiet. Although some coaches have to be quieter than others. But another thing that one of the main advantages Conneaut has is you guys have this super ruckus stage crew out there, and when you guys have a home game, the home court advantage is absolutely real. This year, with that not being really an option, because I assume there's not going to be able to pack the house. Do you feel like that's maybe going to be a little bit different?
For girls basketball, no, because it wasn't like it was jam packed for a girls game. So boys basketball, yeah, it'll probably be different, but for girls games, it's really not going to be that big of a change for us.
Right. So one of my favorite questions to ask coaches are, you guys all coach for wins and championships, all, hanging banners, all that fun stuff.
I'm just going to stir the pot here a little bit, boys. That's all. I'm going to stir the pot. I'm going to stir the pot and I'm going to walk away.
But, we all coaches do that, for their, they want to win, they want to help the girls and all that. But, what is your favorite part of coaching?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's funny because this is where I've really changed over the years. And, when I first started, trust me, it was, I wanted to win, I wanted to move on, maybe to, coach at a higher level. And so I was so driven, by wins and losses. And it's funny, as you get older, you realize that's really not what's important. And especially now, like I said, I've been doing it for a while, going to players that I coach, their weddings, going to, seeing them now have kids. Those are the things that are really special, and now that I'm with my daughters and coaching them, that's the time that I'm getting. Most fathers don't have that opportunity, and that's something I'm extremely thankful for. And, we have a common bond, which is, love for basketball. So it's given us time, to be together that, I probably wouldn't have had if I wasn't, their coach. And it's the same with all the girls. These girls are all just great kids, love, spending time with them. And that's really what I think has become so special, and what I value more than anything now is the relationships, and I see girls that I coach be successful, in the workforce, be successful, in the family life, whether it's getting married, having kids. And that's what I just would like to think that I played at least a small part in that for them.
100%. That's a hallmark of success right there. I mean, wins and losses are great, but seeing the people that you coach win in life is probably one of the most rewarding feelings in the world, because that's your player. That's who you help mold,
Right.
So that's fantastic.
And I'll tell you what, one of the things you talked about on there was, the ability to coach your daughters and stuff like that. And it's actually, I joked around and said it's a curse earlier, but it truly is a blessing because, I'm a girl dad too. And I know that as every year passes, we have less and less in common. So it's nice to have, sports being that ultimate thing to keep you together, because as they get older, you have less and less in common with them. So that's something really cool. I think you can share, with your daughter, and not just your daughter, but girls in general. I think it's important for men to set an example of what how men should act. And I think that's great. I think you do a great job with that.
Well, thank you. And I mean, that's where even basketball was really the only thing I had any control over anymore. But in the house, it's they all gang up on me. But even now with basketball, I got it's like with the 7 seniors. I mean, anything I say, they're not even scared anymore. So
you have you ever watched the TV show Last Man Standing?
Oh yeah,
that is. I just thought that is every girls basketball coach that is a male. Last man standing.
But one of the questions I like to ask every coach is, when people see the Lady Spartans on the court, when the Lady Spartans are coming into town, what can they look forward to? What is going to be your hallmark? What is the pride that you're going to have about your team?
For us, it's attitude and effort. And that's what we preach. You're not always going to be the most gifted or the most talented, but the 2 things that you can always control are your attitude and effort. So you can expect our girls are going to play hard. I mean, if not, then the next girl out there. And that's that's our philosophy. You're going to miss shots, you're going to turn the ball over, but every single person can play hard on the defensive end, sprint back, dive on the floor for loose balls. So that's really what we stress all the time to them, is just that all-out effort.
Yeah. So, well, us over here at 4-4 on goal are very excited to see the Lady Spartans this year coming up. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining the show tonight. I really do appreciate it. It's been exciting. Conneaut week is kind of coming to a little bit of a close. But I don't know if you had anything special you wanted to shout out or anything, Coach?
Well, I mean, we can end this with a special guest if you want.
Sure. I'm not going to tell you no. Go to town.
Come here, Rocco.
What's up,
I couldn't get on the thread because I'm actually at his house. But I didn't
What up, Coach? How you doing?
Good, real good.
Yeah, glad to hear it, buddy. Well, there's a lively way to end Spartan Week.
That's right. Hey, great coach right here, man. Great coach.
Yeah.
Fun to coach with.
Yeah, man.
How weird is it to take orders from somebody else?
He doesn't take orders from anybody.
Yeah, I'm sure he don't.
Hey, he teaches me a lot basketball-wise. I don't really know what I'm doing, so I just pretend to.
Fake it till you make it, baby. Fake it till you make it.
And for those of you watching, just get ready, because this Conneaut girls versus Edgewood girls game is going to be lit.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
man.
Yep. Hey, if we can pack the stands, let's get them packed this year coming up. We got to change that, baby.
We just got to let those ADs let people in the door, right?
Yeah.
And you know what, guys? If they don't let you in the door, where you can look forward to watching it is right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Works too.
Yeah. So, but
you guys do a great job. Thanks.
Hey, thanks, Coach. Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that was
that's a win. That's a win.
That's the coolest breakfast we've ever had.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Coach Tony Pasanen. I really appreciate you coming on to the show tonight. Well, you and Mr. Dobrin over there go back to doing whatever it is girls basketball coaches do on a Friday night. I'm not sure what's going on.
We play chess.
Yeah, we'll call it chess. That's fine. I get it.
Coach, I want to thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for everything this year, not just here, but during football season as well. You were amazing there as well. Conneaut's always been just a great place for us. You guys have treated us well, and we love it out there. We really cannot wait to get out there and cover some games, particularly the Conneaut Edgewood game. I think it's going to be fantastic. But again, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for agreeing to give us a little bit of your time.
Well, listen, we appreciate. Trust me, we're all talking about it, even players, which is cool. talking about everything you guys are doing for the community, and it makes it special, So we appreciate what you guys are doing. So anything we can do to help out, anytime.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Coach, I'll end it real quick here. I want to thank you, the third person to thank you tonight for coming on the show. It was an absolute pleasure getting to talk to you, getting to know you, your philosophies on coaching. But also thank you for everything you do for these young women. A fact of the matter is not many girls are Sabrina Ionescu. They're not going to go to Oregon and be the number one pick by the Liberty. You know what I mean? But what they are going to do is they're going to go and they're going to become fantastic women in the workforce. They're going to be lawyers, doctors, teachers. They're going to be mothers. And it's men like you who help mold those values in them in addition to their parents. So it's awesome that they have a man like you, Coach Dobrin, to do that. So, thank you for doing that as well. So,
thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, man.
Trust me, the pleasure's all ours.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you for coming on. We can't wait to cover you guys and see everything, the great things that you guys have in store this year.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, Coach. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll catch up soon.
All right. We'll see you. Thank you.
Later, buddy.
Now that is a new one.
Yes.
The special guest being held by the guest. That is a win right there.
Hey, y'all think you think he's holding them hostage though?
I'll tell you what. We always talk about I'm not playing cards with John Butchko. I'm not playing cards with Coach Tony Pasanen because I didn't see that coming from anywhere.
No way.
He had a trick up his sleeve, that's for sure. That is for sure. But yeah, thank you guys, everyone tonight for joining us. It was very exciting. I don't know what we have planned for next week yet.
It's Christmas, so it's a funky week.
Yeah, and we've been trying to do, Tuesday night boys, Friday night girls. So we'll see how that goes. Just stay tuned to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We'll let you know what's going on. Sorry to interrupt you, Tom. Go ahead.
I had a suggestion that I'll throw to you guys after
okay
the show here. But hey, I know we're trying to cut it short here, not short, but end the show here. But Jerry Mullins had a pretty cool question here, and just your guys' thoughts. We got two things coming up tomorrow: Big Ten and ACC championships. What are your guys' predictions?
Ohio State by 1 million, Notre Dame by none.
What about you, Rye?
You know what? I'll co-sign with Sam. Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not big into college football. Never have been. Never will be. I'm a Buckeyes fan just because I'm from Ohio. Hopefully, the Buckeyes win, and I guess hopefully Notre Dame loses if that helps.
Hey, I think Ohio State's going to go out and beat Northwestern by no less than 35 points. And I think Clemson's going to go out there and they're going to destroy Notre Dame and really college football playoff. I think you're going to see a team sneak in because of this. So this is going to be a big weekend.
I saw the funniest reply. So Brian Kelly, Notre Dame's coach, came out and said, if you're not going to let our friends and family come to the playoff games, then we might not play. And somebody said, you probably don't have to worry about that. I hope Jake Newsom's watching because Notre Dame sucks.
Oh, yeah. Don't say that to Jake Newsom, though.
That's what I said. I hope he hears that.
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't. He's probably gone by now. But so again, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. Don't forget, follow us on Facebook. You're over on YouTube. Hit that notification bell. Like the stream. Stay tuned,
the gram, baby. The kiddies love the gram.
Yeah, or the gram, whatever. I don't know. Maybe we got a Snapchat too. I don't know, the ghost guy thing.
Soon. Wait till I get a TikTok.
Mm-hmm. I think you kind of already do, just not 440 and goal official yet. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining us tonight. Look forward to seeing us next week. We're not sure just yet, but we'll let you know. Stay tuned. Thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your night, everybody. I'm getting out of here. Oh, we're okay. Usually,
manager
you guys say enjoy your night. Sammy out. Enjoy your night. Sammy out. Bye.
Rebound taken by Iguodala. Iguodala to Curry. Back to Iguodala. Up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection.
Cleveland! This is
it, cleanse your soul. Yeah, 4-4 and gold. That other getting old. We got Samurai and Tom. This is a sports octagon. Sports for forever and beyond. Spending with Samurai and Tom. From the puck to the glove to the pigskins high. Share all of your thoughts, just let it ride. Down the baseline in the bleachers, or you wanna get denied. Yeah, share all of your thoughts, just let it ride. 4-4 and gold. Come hit it, cleanse your soul. Yeah, it's 4-4 and gold. Come hit it, cleanse your soul.
For the Browns Super Bowl contenders.
Hey, listen, when we start talking about what wins Super Bowl, we talk about talent. The Browns, they have the talent. They have it.